Did you know that in the Philippines, over 300 unsolved cases are reported each year? On New Year's Eve 2020, a young flight attendant named Christine Dacera became one of them. Her night of celebration with 11 men ended in tragedy, leaving behind more questions than answers. Christine was a vibrant 23-year-old, known for her infectious smile and adventurous spirit. As a flight attendant, she had seen the world, but on this fateful night, her plans were simple: to ring in the new year with friends at the City Garden Grand Hotel in Makati. Little did anyone know that what was intended to be a joyful celebration turned into the beginning of a mystery. The party unfolds. The party was in full swing, with drinks flowing and music pulsing through the hotel rooms. Yet beneath the festive surface, a sinister chain of events was unfolding. The hotel's CCTV cameras silently recorded the unfolding events, capturing moments that would later become crucial pieces of a tragic puzzle. As the clock struck midnight, the atmosphere in rooms 2209 and 2207 of the City Garden Grand Hotel was electric, filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the promise of new beginnings. Christine, known for her vibrant personality, was at the heart of the celebration. At 12:30 a.m., just after the New Year's countdown, Christine made a video call to her family. Her face beamed with joy as she updated them on the party, unaware that this would be their final conversation. The CCTV footage shows Christine moving between rooms, participating in a clapping game, and celebrating with her companions. As the hours ticked by, the party's mood remained upbeat. Friends took videos and photos, preserving memories of what should have been a night of harmless fun. In one playful moment, Christine attempted to kiss one of her friends before entering their room, a gesture that seemed innocent at the time, but would later be scrutinized in the investigation. The CCTV tells a story of increasing intoxication as the night wore on. At 4:13 a.m., cameras captured Christine stumbling, requiring support from a friend to prevent her from falling. This scene of a young woman unsteady on her feet would become a haunting image in the aftermath of the tragedy. The presence of unfamiliar faces at the gathering added an element of complexity to the evening's dynamics. Some attendees were friends of friends, creating a mixed group of people with varying levels of connection to Christine. This detail would later complicate the investigation as authorities tried to piece together the events of the night. As dawn approached, Christine's condition appeared to worsen. At 6:23 a.m., in what would be the final CCTV footage of her alive, Christine was seen being carried from room 227 back to room 2209. Notably, she managed to open the door herself, suggesting she was still conscious at this point. This moment would become a critical juncture in the timeline of events. The party that had started with such promise and excitement was about to take a dark turn. As the first light of the new year began to filter through the hotel windows, no one in rooms 2209 and 2207 could have imagined the shocking discovery that awaited them. A shocking discovery. The morning of New Year's Day began like many others after a night of heavy partying. Rommel Gallo, one of Christine's friends, woke up around 10 a.m. to find her in the bathtub of room 2207. At first glance, he assumed she was simply sleeping off the effects of the previous night's festivities. Christine's unresponsive state didn't immediately raise alarm bells. Concerned for her comfort, Rommel attempted to rouse Christine, suggesting she move to the bed. His efforts were met with silence. Christine remained motionless, her hands clutched to her abdomen, her breathing shallow but present. Believing she just needed to sleep it off, Rommel provided her with a pillow and blanket before returning to his own slumber. Hours ticked by and the hotel corridors began to stir with the sounds of departing guests. It wasn't until around noon that Rommel returned to check on Christine. What he found sent a chill through his body. Christine lay lifeless, her lips an unsettling shade of purple, her skin alarmingly pale. The realization hit him like a thunderbolt. Something was terribly wrong. Panic gripped the room as Rommel alerted the 5 friends who were still present. The gravity of the situation dawned on them, transforming their New Year's hangover into a nightmare. They sprang into action, desperately attempting CPR while others rushed to seek help from the hotel staff. The hotel's response was swift. Staff members, trained for emergencies but surely never expecting one of this magnitude, quickly called for an ambulance. The once jovial hotel room now buzzed with frantic energy as paramedics arrived on the scene. Christine was rushed to Makati Medical Center, her friends' hearts racing alongside the ambulance sirens. Their hopes for a miraculous recovery were dashed at 12:25 p.m. when Christine was declared dead on arrival. The news of Christine's death sent shockwaves through the hotel and beyond. Questions began to surface almost immediately. What exactly happened in those early morning hours? How did a healthy 23-year-old go from celebrating the new year to being pronounced dead? The timeline of events leading to Christine's death became a subject of intense scrutiny. Every moment, from her last phone call to her family at 12:30 a.m. to her final appearance on CCTV footage at 6:23 a.m., was dissected for clues. The gap between these known points in time held the key to unraveling the mystery. Unraveling the mystery. The Makati police initially treated Christine's death as a potential crime. They detained 11 men who had been at the hotel, alleging that she may have been raped and killed. This sparked outrage on social media, with many calling for justice under the assumption that Christine had indeed been a victim of sexual assault. As investigators began to piece together the puzzle, conflicting accounts emerged. The autopsy, performed amidst growing public interest, became a pivotal moment in the case. Dr. Joseph Palo's findings painted a picture that diverged sharply from the initial assumptions of foul play. The cause of death was determined to be a ruptured aortic aneurysm, a medical condition few had anticipated. Approximately 150 milliliters of darkened fluid, presumed to be blood, was found in Christine's stomach. This discovery raised questions about the sequence of events leading to her death and the potential factors that might have contributed to this fatal rupture. Adding to the complexity, the autopsy revealed multiple contusions on Christine's body. Bruises were documented on her right palm, thighs, knees, and ankles. An ambiguous needle puncture mark on her right hand further fueled speculation. These findings seem to support the initial classification of the case as assault homicide by the Philippine National Police, leading to sexual assault and homicide complaints against the 11 individuals present that night. However, the autopsy also uncovered details that complicated this narrative. A well-healed laceration in Christine's genital area suggested it had occurred significantly before the night of her death. Importantly, no secretions or semen were found, casting doubt on the sexual assault theory that had initially dominated headlines. The investigation faced numerous challenges from the outset. Witnesses proved uncooperative, their memories clouded by alcohol and the chaos of the night's events. But perhaps the most controversial obstacle came from an unexpected source: the handling of Christine's body itself. In a move that would later be heavily criticized, Christine's body was embalmed without her family's consent. This decision had far-reaching consequences, interfering with crucial toxicology studies that could have provided vital clues about her condition in the hours before her death. Christine's family accused the medical legal officer of gross negligence, believing this action had compromised the integrity of the investigation. As the case unfolded, a stark divide emerged between the accounts of Christine's friends and the beliefs held by her family. Friends suggested that her injuries could have been the result of frequent trips to the bathroom to vomit, a common consequence of excessive drinking. They painted a picture of a night that, while wild, was ultimately just a New Year's celebration gone awry. Christine's family, however, remained convinced that foul play was involved. They struggled to reconcile the vibrant young woman they knew with the tragic figure at the center of this mystery. Their demand for justice echoed through social media and news outlets, keeping the case in the public eye. The conflicting narratives and the challenges faced by investigators led to the National Bureau of Investigation, NBI, taking over the case. They performed a second autopsy, collecting samples and evidence from the hotel rooms. However, they too faced significant hurdles due to the earlier embalming of Christine's body. As medical experts weighed in on the case, Dr. Joseph Palo made a statement that would further complicate the narrative. No alcohol or recreational drugs taken the night prior to her death could cause such a dilatation or defect in the aorta. Rape and/or drug overdose will not result in the development of aneurysms. This assertion challenged both the initial assumptions of foul play and the alternative explanations offered by Christine's friends. The autopsy findings, far from providing closure, ignited public outrage and skepticism. Many questioned the initial police assumptions of assault and the subsequent treatment of Christine's friends. The case had transformed from a straightforward crime investigation into a complex medical and legal puzzle, with public opinion swaying between competing theories. The search for truth continues. By mid-2021, the case had taken a significant turn as the Makati City Prosecutor's Office dropped the charges against the 11 men due to insufficient evidence. The authorities cited the lack of concrete proof of rape or homicide, along with the medical conclusion pointing to an aneurysm as the cause of death. Despite the dismissal, doubts persisted among the public and Christine's family. Many questioned the thoroughness of the investigation, the handling of evidence, and the competence of the authorities. The Philippine National Police faced criticism for their hasty accusations, with some suggesting that the pressure from social media and the public led to a rushed investigation. The impact of the case, lessons, and reflections. Christine Dacera's death highlighted significant issues within the Philippine justice system, including the role of public pressure and the need for accurate, responsible reporting by the media. The case also exposed how misinformation can easily spread in the digital age, with social media driving narratives that may not align with the facts. For Christine's family, the quest for justice remains a painful and unresolved chapter. They continue to seek answers and hold on to hope that someday the full truth will come to light. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime cases that deserve to be heard. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What do you think really happened that night?